What if I told you that a lot of what we think we know about sales is just, well, outdated? Today, we're going to break down how the whole world of complex sales has been completely turned on its head. We're moving away from just a simple transaction and into something that looks a whole lot more like a deep, strategic partnership. To really get our heads around this new world of selling, we first have to talk about the old ways of thinking. And Albert Einstein really hit the nail on the head here. It is so much easier to split an atom than to shatter a prejudice. And in sales, those prejudices are the outdated ways of thinking, the paradigms that are holding us and our clients back.
So, what exactly are these powerful, almost invisible rules that we need to deconstruct? Let's dig in and take a closer look.
Think of paradigms as those comfortable old habits, right? They're the things we cling to, even when they're just not working anymore. It's that we've always done it this way mindset that can absolutely kill a deal before it even gets off the ground. They are those automatic responses that feel safe, but they really just keep us stuck. Do any of these sound a little too familiar? I bet they do. And look, we've all been guilty of these kinds of mental shortcuts. But here's the crucial part. The real secret to success in modern sales is being able to recognize these paradigms in ourselves and in our buyers, and then actively, consciously breaking free from them. To really understand where we're going, it helps to know where we've been. So let's take a quick trip through the recent history of sales, which kind of plays out in 3 big acts. First, way back in the day, it was all about the product. This was the thesis stage. If you had a better product, you could sell it. Simple as that. A salesperson's job was basically to be a walking, talking feature list. But, as markets got more and more crowded, that just wasn't enough anymore. So then the pendulum swung. The focus shifted from the product to the customer's problem. This was the antithesis, the era of consultative selling. Here, a great salesperson was like a great doctor, right? Diagnosing the issue, uncovering needs, and then prescribing their product as the cure. And that brings us right up to today, to the synthesis. This modern approach is all about the relationship, that authentic connection, or vinculo, as the source material calls it. Now, it doesn't throw away the product or the need, it actually integrates them into something way more powerful, a real partnership where you become a trusted advisor, not just some vendor. Now, this diagram really just captures the whole shift perfectly. We've moved from this one-way street where the seller is just pushing a product to this collaborative loop where the seller and the customer are working together side by side to actually create a solution. And you can see from this chart, the skills you need for success have changed dramatically. It is no longer enough to be a great talker. Today, you have to be a phenomenal listener, a creative problem solver, and an absolute expert at building trust. The very top of this pyramid demands self-awareness, creativity, and, audacity. So what does it really take to thrive in this new world of sales? Well, it takes a fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to start seeing yourself not just as a vendor, but as a leader. Think about it. As a salesperson, you have this incredible power to open new doors for your clients, doors they might not even see themselves. But to do that, you have to earn their trust first. You have to show them that you're not just there to make a sale, you're there to help them succeed. So, what's the secret to becoming this kind of sales leader? It's not about having some specific personality type. No, it's about developing what the source material calls the 4 masteries. This model right here shows the 4 interconnected domains that are absolutely essential for success. You've got self, relationships, organization, and strategy, and they're all built on these core values of self-knowledge, respect, innovation, and audacity. All right, let's take a closer look at each one. Mastery of self is your foundation. It's about really understanding your own strengths, your own biases, your own triggers. It's knowing what makes you tick so you can manage your emotions when the pressure's on and stay focused on your goals, not your ego. But it's not enough to just know yourself. You also have to truly understand your clients. And that's where mastery of relationships comes in. It's about building that genuine connection, that vinculo, so they trust you enough to let you help them solve their real problems. And it's not just about your relationship with the customer. You also have to understand how to get things done inside both your own organization and theirs. That's organizational mastery, knowing how to navigate that internal landscape to actually deliver on your promises. And finally, there's mastery and strategy. This is about having a clear, bold plan for success. It's not just about hitting your quota. It's about defining a vision for how you and your client are going to win together, and then having the courage to actually go after it. So, how do you actually apply these 4 masteries in a real-world sales situation? Well, it all comes down to understanding the 3 critical stages of any complex deal: decision, information, and alignment. In that early decision stage, you're really relying on your self-mastery to prepare and plan. Then, as you move into information and alignment, your relationship mastery is key to building that trust and understanding. And wrapped around the entire process are your organizational and strategic masteries, guiding every single move you make. So, what happens when you master these 4 areas and apply them across the 3 stages of a sale? The transaction itself gets elevated into something really, really special. This leads to a pretty profound final point, captured beautifully in this quote. A truly great sale isn't just a contract, it's an act of creative synthesis. It's about creating something totally new that didn't exist before. Think of it like this. You and your client are architects. The client has a plot of land and a vision. You have the blueprints and the building materials. A traditional seller just tries to sell their materials, but a true partner co-designs a completely unique solution, building a bridge from where the client is to where they want to be. So I'll leave you with this final thought to reflect on. Are you simply a seller of products, or are you a creator of value? The choice is yours. But I hope after this explainer, you see that the very best sellers are, in fact, the very best creators.